Shalom, shalom, shalom. Alright, brother Tazamah, coming at y'all with another video through the Spirit. Giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. Ba'ashima Mashiach Mamlak Yahushua. Alright, and the topic of this video is being there for your brother. Alright, you're going to be there for your brother in the time when he needs you, or your sister, or the aqua, right? Anybody in the shoot, is you going to be there for them, right? Or is you going to kind of let your phone ring when they hit you up? You know, they calling you. They like, man, why you ain't picking up? You looking at the phone too, right? But you just kind of let it ring, right? Hey, we got to be there for each other in these last days, because this is literally all we got, right? Them people in the world, they don't got your back. You think little JoJo in the world, right? You kind of going through some tough times. You call him up. Think he gonna care about you, right? He gonna say, nah, you in that Bible. Can't mess with you, right? So we literally all we got in this truth, and we gotta be there for one another, right? Stop being prideful. Reach out to brothers, right? And that pride, something else, right? That pride get in the way, right? That pride get in the way. Next thing you know, brothers kind of getting sifted out just because they ego. It's a lot of egos and pride in this truth, man. Right, brothers still want to hold on to that top dog in the world. Well, hey, you come in the truth, you're not the top dog no more, right? You gotta be you in another position, right? Somebody knows more than you, right? Brothers don't want to let that go, man. Brothers let their pride in the way. Next thing you know, it's strife and envy. Next thing you know, all hell breaking loose. So through the Spirit, we're going to go through the precepts, man. All right. Let's go to the book of Galatians. All right. So like, yeah, this is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 3. I'm going to start at 2. It says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. All right, so we got to bear each other's burdens, man. We got in these last days. Right, we don't got each other. We don't got these people in the world. The family members, they don't got us. Right, they don't got our back. But we gotta be there for each other, man. Right, if a brother going through something, hey, hit up another brother. That brother gonna exhort you through the scriptures, man. Right, you going off. Hey, you gotta call up a brother, and hey, he gonna get on you through the Spirit. He gonna open rebuke you, man. And he gonna cut you up with the scriptures so that you could get healed. Ultimately, all right. Right. Let's get an account real quick. In the book of Job, the 2nd chapter. All right. This is the book of Job, chapter 2. Verse 11, it reads, now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one to his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shulite, and Zophar the Namathite, for they had made an appointment together to mourn with him and to comfort him. Right, so when Job's friends found out what was going on or what was happening to them, hey, they came ASAP, right? They came to mourn with him, right? They came to suffer with him. And that's a beautiful account, because that's how a real friend would do, right? You going through with something, hey, a real brother, he gonna come over, right? Sisters might be going through something, and they come over, right? For the single sisters in this thing, right? Even if you hit up a regular brother, and he's still gonna come over, man, right? And exhort you and mourn with you. Right, and be there with you, right? So this is a beautiful account. All right, there's more on that. Verse 12, and when they lifted up their eyes afar off, they knew him not. They lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven, so that they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was great. Right, so it was, man, it's a beautiful account, right? They didn't even say a word, right? Because they knew what Job was catching hell, right? They knew that, hey, nothing we could say or do is gonna make this brother better. Only thing we could do is suffer with him, and that's what a real friend to do, right? A real brother, right? A real brother, he'll sit down and suffer with you, right? That's beautiful, man. Right? Let's get another account in the book of Job, chapter 42, verse 11. It's the book of Job, chapter 42, verse 11. It reads, Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him all over the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Right? So they comfort him. It was comforting. Right? It was a lot of exhortation in the book of Job. Hey, the book of Job is actually deep. Right? Don't sleep on Job. But back to the point. Hey, they was there for Job and his 3 friends. And you gotta strive to be like Job 3 friends. Right? Be there. Right? Mourn with your brother when he going through it. Right? That's man, that's beautiful. All right, let's get another precept. Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 9. All right? The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 9. It reads, it says, Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Right? So it says, let love be without dissimulation. Meaning, hey, don't show no fake love. Right? Don't only do it because, you know, you want to have vainglory. Right? Next thing you know, you posting on your Snapchat, yeah, brother going through it, and I'm just being there with him. And then kind of post it, say be there. No, don't. Hey, this is very seriously, man. If you're really sincere, you wouldn't do nothing like that at all. Right? Right? So you gotta let love be without dissimulation. Don't have that small envy in your heart. I don't even know why I'm doing this. This nigga always thinking. Don't bring none of that in here, right? Because the Lord, he ultimately gonna see you and he gonna put you to death because you're not sincere in this thing, right? The Lord, he gonna, man, it's a lot of things that's gonna come to pass if you not sincere, right? If you doing this for clout, followers, likes, man, and you want to ultimately humble down to the lowest estate and let the Lord exalt you, right? Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of 1 Peter. Chapter 5, verse 7. It reads. Actually, I'm going to start at 6. It says, Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. See, hey, the Lord, he going to exalt you in due time, man. Right? You don't need to think you know it all in this thing when you first come in this thing, right? I don't know it all, right? I still have to humble myself and be willing to be taught and learn. A lot of brothers, they don't want to do that, right? We see this precept in the book of Luke, the 14th chapter. Salakia. Khan, that's the spirit. It's the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 11. It says, For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbled himself shall be exalted. Right? So ultimately, you want to be sincere, and you want to humble yourself and do things out of the kindness of your heart. Right? Have integrity. Right? Be sincere in this thing. So you want to let love be without dissimulation. Right? Don't be showing no fake love when your brother actually needs you. Right, these is very important, right? Exhortation, lifting your brother up. Man, this is very important. People look over this, right? People don't really want to watch these type videos, but these is actually need to be talked about lessons, man. Right? Don't it say in Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourself together? How we gonna gather ourselves together? And you got brothers in the truth, they don't even want to help out their next brother that's falling. Or might be falling short, right? Or sometimes, hey, that brother, he might not even check up on you for some months, right? So let's go to the book of Sirach, precept. We go to the book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 25. Right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 25. It says, I will not be ashamed to defend a friend, neither will I hide myself from him. Right? So it says, I will not be ashamed to defend a friend. Right? And that's going to be in front of your brethren also. Right? A scoffer come up, kind of let the scoffer steal off on that count. And then the scoffer run. And y'all just sitting there. And you kind of laughing. No, and you got to defend them. Right? If you see a brother waxing short and worse, right? You got to defend that brother and lift them up. Right? So you always want to be there and defend and protect your brethren. Right? Don't it say in the book of John, chapter 15 and 13, right? A friend. Actually, let's get it. All right. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Lord. Let's go to John 15 and 13. This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13. It reads, Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Right? Greater love had a man than that, man, that's willing to lay down his life for his friends. Right? Hey, real quick, let's get that in the book of Matthew, the 21st chapter, I believe. Right? Didn't Peter defend Yahushua? Right? He smote off one of the soldiers' ears. Salakia. Actually, it's like Matthew the 26th chapter. Let me grab that. Salakia. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 50. It says, And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then they came and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then Yahushua said unto him, Put away thy sword in this place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. See that? So, Peter, he grabbed that sword, man. As I believe is a better account in the book of Luke, where Peter, he smote off the high priest's ear. Right? So, Peter, he fulfilled Sirach 22 and 25. Right? He defended his brother. Right? And that's how you got to be. Right? Let's go back to the book of Sirach. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 22, verse 26. It says, And if any evil happen unto me by him, everyone that heareth it will beware. Who shall set a watch before my mouth? Actually, we could rest on that. Alright, we could rest on that. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Sirach, the 29th chapter. Verse 20. It says, Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. Right, so it says, help thy neighbor. Right, do all you can for your neighbor, man. Right, you don't want to be lazy when it comes to your brethren, bro. That's one thing you don't want to do. Right, so these things is very important. Right, like I said, this just don't go for the brethren. This goes for the Aquaf too. Right, sisters reach out to sisters. Right, brothers reach out to brothers. Right, children reach out to children. It's all go one accord in this thing. Right, so these are things we gotta do. All right, let's go to the book of Romans, the 16th chapter. All right, Romans, the 16th chapter. It's the book of Romans, chapter 16, verse 4. It says, who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but unto all the churches of the Gentiles. Right? It says, who have for my life laid down their own necks. Right? You got to be willing to lay down your life for your brother. Right? And Sixers, they got to be willing to lay down their life for the aqua. Right? This stuff is, man, this stuff get deep. Right? Didn't Paul say in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter? Right? He said, that's a spirit. It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. It says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Right? So Paul said, he said, I wish I could go through what Yahweh Shah went through. Right? For my brethren, my kinsmen, man, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. You got to ask yourself these things. Are you willing to lay down your life for your brethren? Right? Go through these things. Exhort. Right? Don't it say in the book of Hebrews, 3rd chapter, 13th verse, it says, exhort one another daily. Right? So you got to arm yourself in this life, in this mindset. And if you're not in this mindset, well, hey, you got to wake up. Right now is the time to arm yourself. Right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews. Let's go get Hebrews. Chapter 3, verse 13. It says, but exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you shall be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Right? So you got to exhort brethren daily, man. Exhortation. Right? Every morning you get up. Hey, brother, how you doing? How you feeling through the spirit? Right? Hey, Aqua. Hey, sis. How you feeling through the spirit? You need anything? You want to go on a fast? You want to pray? Right? You want to go over flashcards? You want to do this? Hey, you got to, man, the brother and the sisterhood is very important, man. Right? We don't got that in the world. You think Jake is clicking up to have better ways to be there for their brethren? Nah, Jake worried about snaking his homie, his day one homie, right? And plotting on him, and robbing him. That's what Jake really thinking about. Nobody in the world thinking about this that we talking about right now, right? So, hey, you gotta, and that go into watch what you saying too, right? Just because this brother might not know that breakdown, or this sister, she might not know that, right? Next thing you know, you kind of treating her bad. All hell breaking loose. Right? Didn't Christ say in Matthew 25 and 40, if you have done it unto the least of my brethren, hey, you have done it unto me. Right? So you treating the least brother with respect, right? And you scoffing at him, right? You making fun of him because he don't know the breakdowns. And you basically doing it unto Yahweh Shah. That's what it's saying. All right, let's go to the book of Luke. Let's go to Luke, the 17th chapter. This is the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 1. And then he said unto the disciples, it is impossible that offenses will come, but woe unto him through whom they come. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he cast into the sea, then he shall offend one of these little ones. Right? And that's not actually talking about these little ones. Let's talk about these little ones in the faith, right? It'd be better if you just take a what's name around your neck and then just hop into the sea. So Yahweh Shai, you're not playing that respect other persons, looking down upon your brother. The Lord not dealing with that, right? And you're not gonna make it far in this truth if you're doing that. So you better check yourself. All right, let's go to the book of Tobit. The 4th chapter. Right, it's the book of Tobit. Tobit, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, for if thou deal truly, thy doing shall prosper, succeed to thee, and to them all that live justly. Right? Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor to the face of God, and the face of God shall be turned away from thee. Right? So when you giving alms, right, you gotta do these things in sincerity. Right? And that's just not talking about physical alms or charity. Spiritual alms, right? Giving wisdom, giving breakdowns, doing breakdowns on the channel. You gotta do exhorting your brother. You gotta do these things in sincerity. Right? Don't it say, it just said, in the face of God shall not be turned away from thee. Right? The Lord not gonna turn his face from you. And when the Lord turn his face from you, and you're gonna be like Saul, trying to go to soothsayers, right? Trying to go to witches, right? You're gonna be like Saul. And the Lord is not gonna deal with you no more. He's not gonna be there. He's not gonna hear you. Right? So that's why it's, man, it's important to do this in sincerity and in truth. Right? But let me get another precept in the book of James, the 4th chapter. Right? It's the book of James, chapter 4, verse 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, let one confirm him. Let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of his ways shall save a soul from death, shall hide a multitude of sins. Right? So, brethren, if any one of you err from the faith, if you go off, right, you gotta correct him, man. Not only is you saving a soul for the Lord, right, but you exhorting that, you lifting that brother out the ditch. Right? I already said I don't want to see no brother in this true fault. Right? So if brother's going through something, comment on the channel. Right? If you got questions, comment on the channel. Lord willing, me or one of the other brothers, you know, we gonna exhort you through the Spirit. Right? We gonna get on you through the Spirit. Right? It's called tough love. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse it says use hospitality. Verse 9. 1 Peter 4 and 9 says use hospitality one to another without grudging. Right? It says use hospitality. Right? Be kind without grudging. Right? The people in the world, they do that stuff. When you come into this truth, you're a new man. You're not supposed to do the same things you're doing in the world as far as character. As far as anything, right? Especially character. Right? You still got that evil eye you got in the world. Or you still got that damn talking behind somebody's back spirit. Right? So, don't it say in the book of Sirach, 11, let me get it. 11 and 9, I believe. 19 and 8, probably. Let me see. Right. Sirach 11 and I believe that's 9. It might be 19 and 8. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 8. It says, whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives. And if thou canst without offense, reveal them not. Right? So it says, whether it be to friend or foe, don't talk about nobody else's life. Like I just said, people in the world, they do that. Right? These church members, they damn go to church and then they go home and talk about them same church members in the church. Right? But you supposed to be there to be serving the Most High, or serving or praise the Lord. But yeah, you talking about your sister in the congregation. Right? So whether it be to friend or foe, hey, don't talk about nobody's life, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, the 25th chapter. Alright, let's go to the book of Proverbs. 25 and 15. It says, I'm gonna just 25 and 18. It says, a man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul and a sword and a sharp arrow. Right? So a man that beareth false witness against his neighbor, he probably not gonna make it. Right? If he know better, he's not gonna make it probably. Right? Because if you don't know better, you could repent for that and not do that again, and not be like these Christian pastors. Right? So, hey, man, this exhortation gets deep. All right, let me go to the book of Colossians. I'm gonna get a few more. I'm gonna close out. All right, the main point is we gotta be there for each other in these last days. All right. This is the book of Colossians. Actually, I wanted to get an account in the book of Acts, the eighth chapter. Right? This is the book of Acts, chapter 8. I'm gonna start at verse 30. I'm gonna actually start at 27. This whole thing is deep. It says, and he arose and went and beheld a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem to worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot, read Isaiah the prophet. Then a spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to his chariot. And Philip ran to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, understand what thou readest. Right, so Philip kind of went up. He's like, hey brother, you understand what you're reading? Right, you need any help? Right, can I break down anything for you? Right, it says, and he said, how can I except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. Right, that's how you gotta be, man. Brothers reaching out to other brothers. Hey, you need help, brother? What you need? You good? Right? Can I break this down? Right? Did I break this down good? Right? Did you understand this? That's how we gotta be in these last days. It says, verse 32, the place of the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so he opened not his mouth. Right? I think it's talking about Isaiah, the 53rd chapter. It says, in his humiliation, his judgment was taken away, and who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophetess, of himself or of some other man? He said, what's going on? I can't understand. Can you break this down? Who is he talking about? Who is he speaking about ultimately? Verse 35, then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him how it shot. Right? So that's a beautiful account. Philip made sure he understand that. Right? And that's beautiful. Right? Man. Let me actually get one. Let me get a few more to close out. You gotta kind of be like Philip. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, the 4th chapter. Sirach, chapter 4, in verse 7. It says, get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man. Actually, I'm gonna start at rechecking into supplication. Salakia. Actually, let me go to the Ecclesiastes, 12th chapter, I believe, or the 9th. I'm gonna grab a few more and I'm gonna close out, Lord willing. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Actually, 11 and 1. It says, cast thy bread upon the water. Salakia. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Right? Is that literally talking about go get some loaves of bread and kind of just throw it out on the water, on the puddles outside? No, that's bread is synonymous for wisdom, right? Knowledge and understanding, pursuing a Sirach 15:3. Right? So it says, cast your bread upon waters. Cast your understanding upon waters. Right? Don't just hold, if you know these things, and that's going into Matthew 5:15, right? Or 15:5, about hiding your light underneath a bushel, right? You know this truth, you know the breakdowns, but you're not bringing it out, or you're not making videos or exhortation videos, if that's what you do, or faith builder videos, right? Or prophecy videos, right? So it says, cast your bread upon waters, for thou shalt find it after many days, right? Going into spiritual alms, because spiritual alms also delivers from death, right? It says, give a person a 7, and also to 8, being infinite, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth, right? So with that, right, be there for your brethren in these last days. Sisters, be there for the sisters in these last days. Brothers, be there for the sisters in these last days. Sisters, be there for the brothers in these last days, right? And with that, all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom.